Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what we about to do. It's that time already. It's time for the final word. I said a lot of words during this podcast.
Me too. Shit.
I'd have a lot to say. Well, this topic got me like, ugh. So
you was a little quiet today.
This is a different type of topic. I was since I wanted to hear what y'all said. Well, let me just do the final word for me then, John.
All right. Well, you'll take it away.
I looked at just listen to you guys talking. I would say I was leaning more towards pro-life, but after listening to you guys talk, I think there are exceptions to the rule. The Texas legislation, not really surprised. It's Texas. That's a Republican state. They're in majority there. So this falls in line with their core principles. They're into this type of stuff. So I'm not surprised about that. The 666, I'm a little shocked by that, but after COVID, I'm pretty much, it's going to be pretty hard to shock me. But to actually make 666 rules, that's creepy at best. You know,
that's the devil already.
Yeah. So as far as the abortion thing, I do believe women should have a choice in what happens with their body. But I think the problem is where is the balance? Like, okay, is a woman who keep having children irresponsibly allowed to continue to keep doing that, which burdens the system, which we have to pay for? Or is it more, hey, this woman is responsible, this happened, certain circumstances like rape, incest, things out of the norm that would normally be, no, we're not going to make them have that baby. Now you are making them have the baby. So you can see where the argument comes, because yes, I do believe women should have their own choice. But also on the back end, there should be some thought as to what about the ones that are irresponsible? How does that play out into the abortion deal? Okay, let's say you have a kid and it's bad circumstances. Okay, you have an abortion. What about when you start talking about 4, 5, 6, 7 or more? These are things to consider in the system, because most of the time the government is paying for this, so you can see the argument for both sides. I see that, yes, there should be a choice, but shouldn't there be some responsible action involved in that too? So I'm kind of in the middle. I do believe, like Brianna said, once the baby gets to a certain point, it shouldn't even be an argument about if you're pushing out a fetus, a full-grown baby. That's a little hard for me to stomach. I'm with you on that, Brianna. But at the same time, I do believe in the early stages, that may be what's best for all parties involved. So I'm agreement with John and Brittany on that part, in the sense of that's where you should have a choice. I do believe you should have a choice in that, because there are going to be circumstances that are beyond your control where that should be like I said, rape, incest, assault, unwilling sexual acts, all of that, statutory rape, you have to consider all of those. And if they're not being considered, then that's not being fair at all to the woman. And like she said, there's no legislation there in politics to kind of push the law. And if you maybe that is,
hey, yo, you breaking up.
That's it.
Is that
okay? What was the last thing you heard?
It was hard to tell. Last thing I heard was that's it. I don't think I heard anything.
Okay, no. And then he started breaking up at the end, but I got him. I got him.
Okay. Basically, in a nutshell, I was just saying that I believe there has to be some type of balance there has to be some type of balance in that, because a lot of the decisions are affecting a lot of people. And I think more care and concern should be placed into having a full round table so that you can kind of flesh it out in the middle versus it being so one-sided. When you remove all options for the woman, automatically you don't have a high moral ground, because this is affecting the woman and you're making these decisions that's life changing. They're life changing.
Right.
So if you, I believe if they actually were fair and brought both sides together, they would easily be able to hammer out a compromise between the two. But that's not the point, you know. And just like you said, with abortion, that's a real hot button topic. You're going to have some people who are just fanatical, where they're going to say, no, we're not giving up any ground. And then this side say, no, you're not giving up any ground. But that's not how reality is. You're going to have to meet somewhere in the middle and be able to work together to make the program work, or it'll just always stay fragmented. So I believe if they could, both sides could come to the table, and the women will have true representation and true input in the decision making, half of these decisions would not get off the ground.
Okay. I feel it. I feel it. You know, I'm gonna wait till my final word. Brianna, you got to skip the formalities t-shirt on. T-shirt in my, okay, so I don't really want to know. I hope you got some pants on, girl. I don't really wanna know.
I was just about to say, who about to start singing that song? I mean,
Go ahead with your final word, girl.
baby, listen. I mean, I basically said it, but the law is stupid. Okay. I don't think it should be a law, like you say, just because of what could happen. The rape, molest, all that. You need a choice, right? Everybody should have a choice. That's part of our, you know, having your freedom. And, you know, I think it shouldn't be no law on that. No. Like I said, I'm against abortion, but it's always a compromise depending on what the situation was. So I even got a flex too. Now I'm against it, like just going to get them, like you popping Skittles. No, I ain't for that. But if I got raped or I was molested or something like that, then, you know, I'm flexible to, okay, well, yeah, I got to do what's best, because I ain't about to keep no rapist baby, or, you know, do that in that sense. Like, you know, some people might, and that's all of them, because they feel like they're still their kid, you know, and do it. And you know, like you say, on TV shows, they have shows that on Law and Order, like she kept her baby, because even, you know, she was raped, that baby grew in her. And that was her connection as a woman. And I get that as a woman who's lost a kid, you know what I mean? That for us, it's a, I mean, it's a different kind of feeling. Yeah, daddy, you might be here, and, you know, you go through the pregnancy with your wife or your woman, but us, the one that carry the baby, who feel the kicks, who go through the morning sickness, who we develop, you know, feelings in that relation. Even though the baby not born, it's still a relationship. This is my baby. So, you know what I mean? So I get it. I lost a whole baby. So, you know what I mean? Nothing more traumatizing than holding your kid and watching them die, and you can't do nothing about it. You can't help it. That's always in my brain. And now, you know, I've been blessed to have another baby and get through it. But I just, like, you know, some stuff, I get it. No, it shouldn't be no law. This is my body. And some people, you know what I mean? Like, you can't restrict it. Like, you can't, because anything could happen. And then what? You know what I mean? It's just crazy to me. And that's when I'm just saying, like, we you know, people don't think about that. You making all these decisions, you not the woman, you not her body, you don't go through all that. just like you say, you got to get permission from your husband, and he might be an asshole or be saying no, and he don't want you to do it or get your tubes tied. But you know what I mean? Persistent, you got to think about us. Y'all not putting us first. We not first. It's like, all right, well, you laid down, you had that baby, have it. And then it's just that, like, boom, like, you know what I mean? Or what if they're not stable? They're not financially, like you say, they keep having all these kids, but they on the system. Now, where that line goes and draws at? Because at that point, she ain't taking care of we, the taxpayer, or whatever, paying for them babies. You know what I mean? I just think that's crazy. And like you say, Texas is the Republican state, and I'm not surprised. Even, when they did them gun laws, that is the most craziest shit to me. So anything Texas about to do, it ain't no shocker. It's just, it is crazy. But I do think, like I say, you never had an abortion or you never been with a woman and went through it or go through it. I think it should be a cutoff. Like you say, in them first weeks, if you get raped or molesting or whatever, like you say, you usually finding out 6 or 8 weeks. Okay, within that time, up to, I think, I don't know, it's 12 or 14. Whenever that embryo or that thing turn, when they go into the baby mode, like after them weeks, like you say, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, that's murder. That's damn near pure. That's pure fucking murder to me. Like, now it need to be a cutoff. You're gonna get it, then go on and get it. But you got to XY these weeks, because after that you could have that baby and you can leave it in the hospital. They tell you that all the time. You don't want it, you can leave. You can walk out the hospital and leave that baby, drop him off at the fire station. But if you didn't have him in the hospital, just leave him in the hospital. Somebody will get him. He will go, to the system, or family member. Somebody will come and get him. I just think that 2-day procedure needs to come off. That's a little too extent. Like I say, you take the medicine, put the baby to sleep, and then you come back and they put you damn near you in labor. They got to induce you because you got to push that baby out, and then you got to get all the stuff and the placenta and everything, because that was a full baby. That baby ready to be born. That baby got everything, all his organs, everything. It's baby.
Okay.
And some people are not going to agree, and then some people are, and it's just like you say, each to his own. Everybody just you do what's best. You do what's best. And then, women, what if a woman did get raped or something and she had an abortion? Then, like you say, then there's women that can't have babies and they can't conceive, and down the long run, it didn't mess them up. It needs to be a safer way. We need to figure out how to do it. How to do it where it's not that extent. Like you say, in the beginning of the week, that's when you get sucked down the tube because you're real little. So if it balls up and they they put the tube and sucking down the tube and put it in them tanks or whatever. But after that one, them full babies, you pushing out after them certain weeks, that's that 2-day procedure, them full babies. But it needs to be found a different way. Scientists or something need to find a safer way, because then you got women that end up getting, like you say, end up getting punished, or they get hurt in that procedure. And then when they're ready to have kids, they can't. They're going through all this infertility and, all that stuff to, get pregnant. And so it's not really safe. It's not. So it needs to be a better way and a safer way, but not restrict nobody on whether or not they can get an abortion or have a baby or not, or force them or not. You know what I mean? You got people with mental issues and disorder. So her mindset ain't, you know what I mean, stable enough. It's not being selfish. You know what I mean? No, I'm not saying that my husband shouldn't have no say so or not do that. It's not being selfish. It's just, sometimes you got to think bigger than that. We the women, we go through all of this. You on the outside, you getting me through it, but you ain't feeling all that. So from having an abortion to losing babies, that's a different, that's a different thing. Nobody can tell you how you're supposed to feel, what you can do. You know, even to this day, nobody can tell me how I'm supposed to feel or grieve about me losing my baby, or you know what I mean? You can't do that. I feel how I feel. And I'm always feel like that because that's just your mother, your intuition. You know what I mean? That baby grew inside of me. And so, you know, it's just different stuff. And I don't, you can't regulate life or nobody. You better stop. I'm gonna stop because it's about to start pissing me off. But you know what I mean? Just a little bit. I opened up about my life, but you know what I mean? It is I don't see it. Like that law is stupid. It's stupid. And then, like I said, if it was enough women in Congress or some real women that wasn't scared to speak up for the men, put them assholes in their place. That law should have never fucking passed as just being a woman. Whether if you done been through it, if you done had an abortion, if you done lost a baby, having miscarriage, you already know the feelings or whatever. Why would you take that away from any woman? Is beyond me. But that's my final word.
All right. Brianna has dropped the mic. God damn.
Yes, she did.
Oh shit. I don't know whether I got chills or what, but man, that was a mouthful she did. I think she was talking for both parties, her and the baby. All right, Brittany.
Hey, yes. So again, like I was pro-life, same as you, but to a certain extent as well. Like in the case of rape, incest, and if it's going to harm the mother, like some people have to terminate their pregnancies because it is an unhealthy pregnancy and like the baby is going to kill the mother. So I don't think that you should sacrifice 2 lives at that aspect. Like, okay, yeah, I'm sorry, little baby, you gotta go. And you know, it probably wasn't meant to be. You'll be in heaven. You probably come back down at another time, depending on how souls and all that other stuff is created. Like how we said that too. Like, you know, how you recreate a new person. But like, I don't think that people should be able to dictate different rules like that for women's health. Because if you think about it, it's a lot of different negative things that will happen to it. Okay, so y'all said we can't have abortion. So now people gonna have to be doing backyard abortions, basement abortions. People gonna be falling downstairs, taking all types of different stuff to try and terminate it, or even, you know, having the baby and throwing it in the dumpster. It's like it's different things that I see can happen that's negative for this. And people not even getting prenatal care or going across borders, someone might go somewhere illegal to get it done. Like it's just so many negative things that can happen with it, and it shouldn't even be done. Like how you an old ass white ass man about to tell me, oh yeah, nah, you can't be aborting this baby. Whoever take you here about to go to jail. You know, we about to take away your health insurance. Health insurance not even gonna pay for your birth control. We not paying for none of these types of procedures. Everything gonna be out of pocket. It's like, damn, what's the purpose of even having health insurance at some point, and y'all not gonna cover shit? Like it doesn't make sense. Like women's health, we are women are the future. Like we reproduce everything. We carry babies. I never had a baby. I never been pregnant or anything like that. But we carry a life for 9 months, and we have to go through a lot. Our body goes through a whole bunch of hormonal changes. We lose women lose teeth during pregnancy. Like men don't have to go through nothing. Y'all here emotionally, but some men aren't even here physically. So even if you think about it, like women have to be nurturing for the whole pregnancy, the whole birth, the whole child. No, not saying like there's no such thing as men fathers, like that's single fathers and stuff like that. But sometimes like men can be absent and just like not even assist with anything. So it's like, damn, I got a whole child and I'm sitting here doing it by myself. And it's like, it's different reasons like why some people can have an abortion. But my whole opinion, and I don't know why Congress thinks like it's something that they have a say over. I don't think that it's right. All in all, they shouldn't say anything about a woman's wellness and health and anything. They shouldn't have any say in it. And it's always a choice. But you know, to each his own. I'm not. I I don't. I thought like abortion was just murder, and my whole religious output of it is like, damn, if I kill a child, like, damn, am I gonna go to hell or heaven? So it'd be like on my conscience. So I'm just. That's why I was always pro-life. But if it's for certain reasons, then that's how it is. Everybody got their own reasons for doing what they want to do.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. It's my turn. Wow. Y'all said a lot. You know, Yul and Brittany, you know, y'all surprised me with the pro-life. Y'all surprised me with pro-life. You know, I respect it though. I respect it. And the reason why I respect it is because I do believe that everybody should have a right to a life. You know, even those that are on death row. I mean, let them live out their sentence and down their own accord. You know, we ain't really got to murder them. No, I don't think, you know, that's gonna do anything. But whatever. All right, that wasn't part of my final word. So, how I feel about this shit that Texas fucking put into place. All right, I normally don't cuss. Normally I don't cuss. All right, I believe that this is some grand bullshit. All right. I believe that telling somebody what they can and can't do with themselves is ridiculous. Okay. Think about it like this. We have all been raised by our parents, and they tell us what we can and what we can't do. And they always say, well, you know, it's for your own benefit. But they don't even at least let us try or go venture out or have a case is like that. But those that get to live freely and free range, get to experience life, get to make their mistakes, and get to learn from them failures. Now, I'm not saying that this is an appropriate recourse for saying, hey, go out there, have sex unprotected, learn your lesson, and then, you know, go get an abortion. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that there are those parents that shelter their kids and give them all the restrictions, and then they go out and then they do crazy shit because they never experienced life and they don't know they don't know the reason behind the consequences. Okay. This is one of those scenarios. There are consequences to life. There are consequences to life. And in those consequences, we should be able to make decisions in order to revert those consequences. So be it. Okay. If I go and swing on a person, is their choice to try to fight back? Now, if I go swing on them and say, you know, I apologize. I thought you was somebody else. It's mistaken identity. That's more than we actually get from the police when they have mistaken identity. So I'm really leaning. I'm leaning towards pro-choice. I understand pro-life. I used to be a pro-lifer, and hey, had a kid. You know, if you don't want it, give it up for adoption. Give it to, you know, sell it on to some people for, you know, $10,000, whatever the case is. However you want to get rid of it, you know, hey, do what you got to do. But at the same time, I believe that everybody needs to have a choice on what they want to do with their life. Everybody should have a choice about what direction they want to take their life. If they decide they want to have the child, they decide they don't want to have the child. Let that be their decision. The fact that it took 666 laws to be passed lets you know that, you know, for those that are religious, how the case is, you know, it's nothing but a devil's game at that point in time. You know, it could have been 665, it could have been 667. It just had to be 666. That just lets you know that, you know, Texas just happens to be the epicenter of, you know, the Christianity, you know, religious thing that they put out there, whatever the case is, all jokes aside. But just looking at the whole passing of it, again, if we look at the bottom layer, it's not the law that we really had, that is not the law is not the only thing that we really have an issue with. It's the people that we put in there to make these decisions for us. It's the people that not go out there and vote to put these people in there. Texas doesn't have to be a Republican state. It could be a Democratic state. It could be a Democratic state if those people that wanted to vote Democrat were able to go out there and vote. Unfortunately, the South is very backwards. It's very backwards, and they do a lot of limiting when it comes to that. When it comes to voting, especially in the Black community and the minority community, they do a lot of limiting. This is the same, and this is one of the issues that is is wrong with Texas and a few other southern states is because they're still trying to hold on to these slavery mindsets by limiting people from making decisions and choices. This is another example of limiting people's choices and decisions. You're telling women that they can't have control over their body. They have no say-so. Regardless of what happened to them, whether they are raped, molested, or how the case is, they have no choice. And that is unfair. It shouldn't operate in that right. And the more that it keeps proceeding this way, the more they're going to pass certain laws is going to not only discriminate, but it's going to limit other minorities, not only women, from having civil rights, from having choices, to be able to, oh, we lost you, to be able to make effective decisions for their life. And that's just unfair. It's almost close to a lot of these religious organizations. And I don't know if everybody knows it, but if you work for a certain or particular religious organization, they won't allow you to be on birth control. And that's an unfortunate, and that's again, that right there again is a form of control. I want to work for your organization because it is my belief, but then I may be a pro-choice, but I can't be a pro-choice and work for this religious organization. That is control. That is restricting the choice and the rights of the person. I have the choice and the right to do whatever I want to do to my body. If I want to go get a lot of tattoos, I have that choice and right. If I want to go get piercings, I have that choice and right. If I want to go stretch my ears, I have that choice and right. But telling people what they can and they cannot do limits their choices and reason, their choices in life. Don't cut off paths. Don't cut off paths for a person's decision. If I got 3 paths in front of me and the government is cutting off one, that leaves me with only 2 paths. Do I break the law or do I just go down the 2 paths because those are the ones that are being offered to me? It's just a very unfair assessment. And for the 6 states that are following behind with this ridiculous law and rule, there are companies and organizations that will probably and more than likely either going to pay the fine or they're going to leave your state. Do you want to risk losing that money? Because that will be the outcome. Texas right now is damn near either being banned or blackballed. Because nobody wants to go to Texas with these rules. They're going to have to do something, put in an exception or something. They're going to have to do something. But what they're doing is not working, period. That's my final word. Just to skip the formalities, talk about these controversial issues, stating what our opinion is, and sometimes we state the facts, but majority of the time it's goddamn opinion. I want to talk about the panel for a minute. We got Mr. Ewell down here repping the Lions. We got Brittany, said she was at work, so we appreciate that she came. And then we got Brianna, she out there driving, so I hope she's safe. You know.
Yes. Hey, I gotta pick up my baby from work.
Eyes on the road. I am your host, John J, and my nice little 2-piece signing off. Until next week, remember, it's every Thursday at 6 p.m. If you got something to say, you got a topic you want to throw out there, just leave it in the comments.